Hi folks, this is activity W26, standing for winter of 2026, week 1, and activity 1. I'm going to be making this model for you, and there are millions of different ways of doing problems like this. So my approach is like so. First of all, notice that there is a symmetry involved here. And therefore, what I'm going to do is I will actually make half of this whole thing, and then mirror it with respect to plane. Okay. Now notice that one way of doing this problem is starting from the base, and that's how I'm going to do that. So if you look at it, 20 millimeters, or half of 20, 10 millimeters height, and all the way to the end, 140 millimeter length. So that's how I'm going to start. I'll make this rectangle at the bottom, which is 10 by 100 and 100 and sorry, 150, okay? Because this is 20, this is 20. 20 plus 130 is 150 by 10. Okay. All right. Start with the part file. Start with the part file. Okay, you can do it from here, or you can do it from a menu on the top. Okay. Just wait a minute. By the way, I'm doing this thing in R56, CATIA R56. 2023, release 2023, but it doesn't matter. These are pretty much the same. So let me go to the part design first. Part design. And immediately save this thing. So I'm going to go to File, Save Management, Save As. I have a folder here on my desktop. I'm going to call this thing Activity uh, right. Okay, immediately I change my units. So we go to Tools, Options. Already is in millimeter. That's good. It just goes. So on the horizontal plane, I will sketch. Okay. I'll draw that rectangle that I mentioned to you. Rectangle, 130, 150 millimeters long. And 20 millimeters high. Okay, good. Exit. All right. And now let's see. We pad it by a height of 10. 10. Please, I want to remind you that this is one way of doing the problem. You do it your own way. Make sure you get the right stuff. Okay. So what you see down here, is actually this space. Okay, this space. So I can actually go ahead and make this cut out here. Okay, and this yeah. So for example, if I go to the again, different ways of doing it. You can go here. You can put a fillet there, or you can make a circle. That's entirely up to you. So I'll make a corner here. The radius of that corner is this radius. I want it to be 20, right? And while we're at it here, while we're, well, let me get up, get out of this. So right there, so what you see there is actually uh, this. Then I have this interior thingy to do. So let me go ahead and do it like that. On that plane, I'll sketch. Okay. There is something called elongated hole. That makes my job easier if I do that. Let me see if I can find it here for you. Elongated hole. See this? So I'm going to put 1.11, select 1 point on that line, and then another point right here. And I'm going to put the right dimensions. Okay. First of all, this radius, it looks like it is 10. So let's go ahead and here, make that radius 10. And that radius is actually it's not specified there, so we can dimension it. 10. Good. What else do we know? The distance from this center point, center of the elongated, or one of the centers of the elongated hole to that end is 20. So let's go here. So another dimension from this, which is the center point, to that point, that's 20. Okay. What else do we know about this? And the whole thing from center to center is 40. This is 40, right? This is 40. 40. So we go here. Dimension from this point, this whole thing is 40. All right. And pretty much it. Exit and make a pocket all the way to the end. There we are. So what you see there is actually this piece. Okay. Now let's do that stand here. So one way of doing it is to go on that face. I will sketch. What I want to do is to sketch this thing. So, for example, I can go like that. If you want, I can use profile. For example, from here to here. We'll put the dimensions in just a minute. Like so. Like so. And you can do that any way that you want. All right. A couple of things, and that is some dimensions. What do we know? This height is 30, and that radius is okay. This height is 30, and that radius, the outer radius is what's the diameter? That diameter is radius is 25. Okay, so this is 30. 30. Okay. And this is 25. And I want to bring this thing, put it there. So one way of doing it, it's up to you. You can select this, control that, and go to constraint define dialog box, make it coincident. So many ways of doing these things. That's the problem. And then the radius of the inside radius is half of that, which is 15. So I go here. This radius is 15. Diameter 30, radius 15. I think that looks good. Yeah, good. Exit. And then pad it. What's the thickness of that pad? The thickness of this pad is 10. This is 10 right there. You can see that. So we go up here, add it, add this in the other direction by 10, and we say okay. Unless I made a dimension error somewhere, this is basically half of that. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to mirror this whole thing with respect to this vertical plane. So let's find the mirror. Mirror is under transformation. Let me get these things out. Is this mirror? Mirror with respect to this plane or the vertical plane. It really doesn't matter. And there we are. As I said, hopefully I did not make a dimension error, but that's what you got. There's so many ways of doing it. By the way, if you want to change the color, right-click Properties, Graphics, change the color, or actually cancel that. Go to Part Body, right-click Properties, change the color to anything that you want, and there we are. All right, folks, that's the